and this is super awesome. We actually have 3 UAA students here tonight who are heard about that and who are interested in it. I'm hoping there will be more people. I don't know how many. I'm particularly trying to generate interest amongst the non-CS folks at UAA, as well as in the teacher community.
School teachers.
Yep, as well as school teachers. But really, this is open to any and all. And you know, I coach, I teach kids to both cross-country ski and the sails. So I like working with kids as young as 12 if they can pay attention for that long. But that said, if there are other people, other developers out there who would be interested in helping, I would love to have another hand. And for all of you here, both people who are taking the class, other developers, if you have friends who have expressed interest in learning this stuff, if you could help me over between now and when we actually have the hackathon, just to get the word out, that would be great. I'd love to see, I'd love to see 10, 15, 20 people show up for this. That would be great. That's pitch number 1. 1 minute, 50 seconds. Pitch number 2. Any questions about that one? Mr. Day.
I'm sure I speak for the rest of the makerspace. Consider outside of hackathon, if you want to do a class or something, we would probably consider opening up our tables.
That would be fantastic. Just to let people know, we're actually two separate, but very related projects. I'm coordinating with UAA to try to get a group of students together. And again, these are non-CS students who are just sort of interested in learning this stuff along with their degree, to meet up on a regular basis, probably monthly, with some professional level support there when they meet in between sessions. So the space offer would be great. That would be fantastic. And then also working with the school district to start getting teachers literate on this stuff too. So yeah, that's great. Yes.
Along the same vein, I'm sure CodeMaker, there's plenty of space, and I don't know how you feel about that, but it might be neat to have 2 separate rooms, and then you can kind of graduate people into CodeMaker's activities.
Yeah.
So in terms of physical space and having like a every other week regular type thing, might be a good fit.
So I've used Code Academy to teach other people my program. I'm wondering if how that lacks is actually compiling. So yeah, you can build, you can learn how to code, but then you learn how to compile, you just get lost, and then so you have this beautiful, magnificent code that they compile for you on the website.
Well, so I'm envisioning this exercise as really just sort of a base, helping generate sort of real basic literacy about this stuff.
Right.
And that's not what I mean in terms of efforts going forward with both of those groups and people who want to go further. Yeah. We'll obviously need to step beyond that at some point. For the hackathon project, I'm really just sort of thinking, and I'm assuming that the audience is people who've really never laid down a line of code in anything before.
I know. Like I got excited when I was able to do it on my own, and that was my pivotal point. Was I put in my Hello World program and I hit compile on my compiler, and it magically did something.
Well, and that's the hope. I'm hoping we can generate that level of excitement and with outcomes of people who are either some people will go forward with it, and at the very least, even if they don't, even if they're like, yeah, this was kind of cool, I did it, and that stuff, then at least they kind of have a better understanding of what it is and what it means.
And we'll have people in the room who can help get from, I can do Code Academy too, I can compile. If people are worried about that.
I'm not worried about it. I like Code Academy. That's one area I've always seen Code Academy.
No, and I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I think that's true. But I think since we only have a day and a half, we're going to start with raw beginners. We're not going to go past all right. Any other questions on that? I'll be here afterwards. Pitch number 2. So I'm a member of the foundation board for the Lussac library. I like this project. I think it's a perfect size little hackathon one. For those, probably lots of you, if you follow the news up here at all, you'll notice the bad news is, at least if you're a library person, the library bond didn't pass. Good news is, fewer people know about this, is in the state budget there's $10 million for library renovations. If you've ever been to the library before, you know that the entrance is a nightmare. It's a nightmare for anybody who is disabled, elderly, trying to get into the library with a stroller.
With 4 kids.
Yeah, it's a mess. And so library was hoping between those two things to end up between 14 and 16 million dollars roughly. They've got 10 million so far, which is great. They need to make up the rest, and they are going to be raising funds to try to do this. What I would like to do is help them. They have a nice little project page for this. It's got two problems because they didn't know to do this. Number one is it's not at all an adaptive interface. If you pull it up on phone, you can't, it's pan and scan all over the place to understand the project. So coming up with a nice readable mobile interface, and then along with that, a donate button. That's it for the project. I think it's something that we could actually have done in the day and a half of the hackathon. I will come there. I will simultaneously teach, and if I can get at least one other person to help me with that, I'll do this project too. I'll come with all the information to make the connections to the organization and the bank, and we can knock these out. I'm a terrible UI person. I'm a design idiot. I'm a relic from the green screen era. I was happy in the days of cursus interfaces, and unfortunately I'm stuck where everything, a place where everything has to be pretty. So somebody with, really what I need is somebody with a little bit of light e-commerce experience, and somebody with good mobile experience, mobile web experience. I don't think we need an app or anything. I think we just need a good web interface. That's that project. Questions?
Do they have a preferred donation platform that they want?
Yes, they do. I literally just got the idea, got called while I was on my bike on the way to this, so I don't have as much technical detail as I would like. But I'll come with all of that, all done and ready to go.
If it's PayPal, it takes about 3 days to authenticate. So if you can start the process
I can, yeah.
before.
If we get a taker on this, I'll start it. I'll get started on it and have it ready.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of the payment places have to have an authentication process, and it spans anywhere from 2 to 5 days, depending on the bank and all that stuff. So if you start the process before, it'll be ready for plug-in the hackathon weekend.
So I don't know if you're on the municipal innovation listserv, but basically there's been a big thread recently about Citizen Investor and a bunch of other platforms for managing donations for municipal projects. And I can dig some of that. It's literally the last 72 hours there. So they put a lot of information out.
I'd love to hear about that and take advantage of whatever
I'll
we
dig it
can.
up and package it.
That's your second.
I knew I'd go over.
All right, did anybody else have, I'm going to go back to our site instead of looking at Baltimore. Anybody else have anything they would like to pitch to us?
I want to do
I see a hand in the back.
So other people should go before.
Yeah.
We will tailor it.
No mobile apps for you.
My name is Jason. I'm with the Anchorage Game Developer Club. So we've been kind of talking about the idea of doing a game as part of the hackathon. Excuse me. Within video games, a hackathon is actually, we call them game jams. So the idea is get a bunch of people together, have some sort of concept for a game, and kind of just see what we can do, right? Hackathon-like. We don't actually have a formal, really well thought out idea at the moment. We have a couple of different thoughts we've been bouncing around. Supposedly we might have an Oculus. There's a couple of guys in the group who have an Oculus Rift that might be able to lend us. And if so, we're contemplating doing various different game concepts with that, one of which was the idea that we would